Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me today. I just got through my technical difficulties and then panicked just as we were going live because I forgot one thing, but it looks like we're going to be okay. We're going to be all right. Welcome to the channel, everyone. Thanks for being here. We are swinging back around to the case of the murder and the lifelong, terrible, disgusting, horrifying and deeply troubling and sad abuse of this girl, 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Maddie, as she was known by her friends, was a beautiful little girl who had just turned 13 when her life was cut short. The person of interest, the suspect in this, the person who has been charged in her death is this man, a man named Stephen Stearns, 37 years old. Stephen is in jail facing a murder charge and also facing 60-something charges having to do with SA of a minor, this minor. And the person that we're going to be talking about today is somebody who I've been really suspicious of for a long time. That is her mother, Jen Soto. Jen is, 35 years old, lived in a condo with her daughter, several roommates. One of those roommates that was in and out was, and I know that I'm oversimplifying this, was Stephen. We're going to listen to two audio files tonight, two recordings. I have not listened to them yet. I've not edited them yet. I want to give a shout out to the group of YouTubers who made it possible to have these files. I know that Plunder True Crime has covered this. I know Gazello over at Grizzly True Crime, The Docket. I know that I'm missing a whole bunch of others, but they're the ones that have made it possible to get these. I had several FOIAs I still have several FOIAs in the works, but I am obviously behind that group of really good YouTubers, and I'm grateful to them for making it public so that we can share that and talk about it here on my channel here. So to set this up just a little bit, and let me just kind of show you guys. Give me just a second. Cases, Madeline. Hopefully this will work. Let's go over here. Over on my website, which is gavinfish.com. Ooh, there's a little reminder of the Crime Cod newsletter. I have a case page for Maddie. And on this case page, I have made the audio recordings available here. On my channel, it's my patrons that make it possible for me to spend time and resources getting files. And so if you're a patron of mine, you can actually listen to them right here on the website. If you're not a patron of mine, that is one of the reasons why we do this. We go through the audio files here on the channel so that you are able to have a listen to. All right, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Over on the website, gavinfish.com, click on cases right up here, and you'll find Maddie on the top row. It's all in descending chronological order, so you'll find her case right there. Okay, so let's go ahead. Once again, I have not listened to these files at all. The first one that we're going to be listening to is 25 minutes long. The second one that we're going to be listening to is 8 minutes long. I do not know the exact time and date that this interview took place, but it's around the beginning of the investigation, I suspect. Like I said, I haven't actually listened to this. We're going to be listening to it together for the very first time. So with that, let's head on over here and make sure that system audio is on. We're going to have, let's play this and see if you guys can hear it okay.
Sorry. Okay, so you need...
So it is showing me that you guys can hear that. It is at the very top as far as the volume. I did try to boost this volume so we could hear it easily, but you might need to crank the volume here.
Some good sleep. So was it about 11 o'clock?
Yeah. I sent them upstairs, and I went to bed.
Okay. And that was about 11?
Yeah.
And do you guys normally all sleep together? Because I know you said that she sleeps in your room with you typically, right?
She sleeps with me.
You know, it's funny. I think that we have read this report of this interview.
Typically when he comes into town, because he lives with his parents in Northport, Florida. Mm-hmm. When he comes to town, he'll sleep in the guest bedroom.
Okay. And Stefan is the one you're referring to, right?
Yeah, Stefan Stearns.
Stefan. How often does he stay here?
Oh, he moved away back in December, so I'm going to say he's visited at least 2 to 3 times since then.
Okay. Why did he move away?
He was offered his dad had offered him a job, mm-hmm. but it fell through.
Oh.
So okay. Now we're trying to get him back here.
And he just visits?
Yeah.
When he visits, does he stay for like hours, days, weeks?
I would say days. This time we had planned on him staying a whole week because I was going through training at work. Mm-hmm. So I wanted him to be here to help me with the dog, help me with the training.
Okay, so this time he was planning to stay for a week.
By the way, guys, those moments where the audio falls out, that is not my redaction. That is the way that these audio files came to be, or came into the possession of the YouTubers who got them.
How long has he been here? Or when did he arrive, rather, this time?
I can't remember if he arrived Saturday or Sunday morning.
Okay, that's fine. Sometime this weekend?
Yeah.
So that was last night around 11. And so about what time did you hear her on Monday morning?
I heard everyone getting ready around, I'm going to say 7:30, 8 o'clock.
And was it just Steph? Who else lives here?
I have roommates.
Okay.
I have Angelica Negro, who's one roommate, and then Natalie Rosero.
Okay. And you just heard all of them, or did you hear anyone in specific?
No, I just heard, if anything, Stefan came and woke me up accidentally because he was trying to let the dog out. Mm-hmm. And the dog gets really nervous sometimes. Mm-hmm. I was trying to help him with that, get him on his leash. But
it's kind of crappy that they redacted some names, but they left in her roommates' names. That's pretty uncool. I don't know why they make decisions like that.
He got him situated and took him for a walk.
Okay. Did you hear around 7 or 8?
I heard noises in the kitchen, but I'm not sure,
Not sure who it was exactly.
Who it was exactly, yeah.
Gotcha.
It could have been any of the roommates.
But you didn't see her leave Monday morning. Were you still in bed or still in your room?
I was still asleep, yeah.
Gotcha. What time does she normally leave for school?
We usually leave around 8:50 at the latest.
Okay. What time does she have to be to school by?
9:28 is when school starts.
Gotcha. And so I think you had said the previous night, you and Stefan had agreed that he was going to get and take her in the morning? Okay.
And they were going to stop at McDonald's and get breakfast, but she changed her mind last minute and did not want McDonald's.
Okay. When'd you find that out?
When did I find that out? When Stefan called me around 10:18 in the morning, I had stepped out to go get blood work done. And he had just let me know that he just got back home from running a few errands. And that I asked, did you guys ever just stop at McDonald's? And he said, no, she changed her mind. He tried convincing her a few times, but she did not want McDonald's anymore.
Okay, couple things here with the McDonald's story. There are a couple things that that are sticking out to me here. But what Autumn was saying is, I completely agree with. She's just talking like there's a normal conversation, and we have learned from previous reports that her car traveled the same route that Stephen Stern's car traveled. That leads me to believe that either Stephen Stearns was driving her car, or somebody else was driving her car, or she was driving her car. And if that is the case, if the third option is the case, then she knew when she's talking to this officer that her daughter was already dead. And she's talking like it's a normal conversation. The breakfast at McDonald's thing is a detail that is completely unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary. And that to me is a telltale sign that this is a lie. This is a story that is being made up, right? These are the things that we are going to say. We're going to try to make it appear that that this is a normal morning, and these we're going to stick to our story. That's what it seems like to me. The whole McDonald's, she changed her mind McDonald's thing is just superfluous to me, and it just oozes lie, like untruth. Yeah, here we go.
What time did you leave the house yesterday in the morning? Or what time did you step out, rather?
I'm going to say around 9:30.
Had Stefan returned at all?
No.
So you were there from... Just so I have my times kind of right. So you woke up around 7 or 8. You saw Stefan, because you helped him with the dog, because he was letting the dog out, right?
Yeah.
And then did you go back to sleep, or were you just kind of in the room?
I laid back down and went back to sleep.
Okay. And then, do you remember what time you woke up after that?
I believe I set my alarm for 9 a.m.
Gotcha. So it would have been around 9 a.m. that you woke up. And in that time, you didn't see Stefan return at all? Okay. You left around 9:30, and then Stefan called you around 10 to say he got home?
Yeah.
Cool. Got it. Okay. Did he say anything else aside from she didn't want to go to McDonald's?
About her, no. About his morning, yes. He had tried going to the vape shop when it opened right after he dropped her off from school and waited, but they never opened on time, so he came back, hung out a little bit, and he came home around 10 and then went back out eventually to the vape store to go get some vape stuff.
So
let's see. The vape store thing to me is again another unnecessary point that they repeat multiple times. Her car was not there at the same time, Diane. Thank you for that question. It was afterwards. So I'll have to dig up that report to remember. Maybe I can do that while we're listening here.
Left after 10. What time did you get back home for the day?
Let me check something. I want to check what time my blood work appointment is at. I'll give you more of an accurate time.
Yeah.
So my appointment was at 10:15, and it took them 45 minutes to see me. So I didn't get home until 11:15, 11:30.
Mm-hmm. And was Stefan back at that point in time?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
I can't remember.
And then what did the day look like after that? That's fine.
So I did my blood work, and I came back, and then I just waited. I waited for the rest of the day until 2:30 to leave. I wait in the car line, so I'm first in line to pick her up.
Yeah, that car line can be vicious.
Yeah.
So you left approximately 2:30.
Yeah.
And pickups around 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you got there at 4, then what happened?
I waited in the car line for about 10 minutes, and she never came out. So I thought maybe I missed her. I couldn't remember if I told her I was picking her up from school that day or if she had to walk to the office.
Okay.
So I went to the office to see if she made it. She never did. I drove around a little bit.
Okay. I agree,
Drove around
Kate.
a little bit. Looking for her, I went back to the school. The school was closed at this point. I wanted to speak to somebody at the office to see if anybody could tell me if she had been there. I think at this point I had called, before I went to the school, I actually called her best friend and I said, "Hey, with you, I can't find her. She didn't walk to the office and she wasn't at school when I went to pick her up." She said she never made it. She's it's a first or second period. And I'm like, "What do you mean? I dropped her off. We dropped her off close to school." And she said she didn't make it to first or second period. I said, "Please check with the rest of your friends." She did. She got back to me, said none of them saw her today. I emailed one of her teachers. Her teacher texted me her attendance for the whole day and told me she wasn't in school at all. That's when I knew something was wrong, and I freaked out.
Okay. Is it typical of to walk to after school?
If I'm working, yes.
I think the question there is it typical for Maddie to walk to your mom's office after school?
And where? I mean, in relation to the school, like, is it a close walk, long walk?
It's a very close walk.
Okay. So typically in the morning, if, or I guess before Stefan moved, did he live with y'all?
This is, again, a spot that's redacted. Just have to wait it out. It might be a few seconds here. Just give it a moment.
So it's typical of him to be able to get her ready in the mornings and drop her to school. Do you all tend to split that responsibility, or what does that look like?
Typically, I do it.
Okay.
This morning, because of my work schedule, because I've been so exhausted, I asked him to take over and do it, and he said he would.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. So she just says, typically she takes Maddie to school, but because she's so exhausted, he volunteered to do it. My question is, when did he volunteer to take Maddie? The timeline to me is so important because apparently she went to bed the night before about 11 o'clock. She left Maddie and Stefan to sleep together, right? and I don't know, extending as much grace as we possibly can. Maybe she just really thought that it was innocent. I don't believe it, but okay. Did he volunteer to take Maddie to school in the morning? Like, was she getting up to take Maddie to school? Or basically what I'm getting at, the timeline tells us whether or not she knew that Maddie was dead in the morning.
Has he done it before, though? Like, is he familiar with how to drop her off? And
I'm gonna say he's done it once or twice before. I'm not too sure.
Okay. In the time since he's been back, well, not this time because he's only come back over the weekend, but in the other times, he's done it maybe once or twice.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Is there any reason that he dropped her off a block away instead of dropping her off to the school?
Because she asked. Because she is embarrassed of his car.
Really? When did she express that?
Multiple times when we've...
Okay, so to me, you can hear him say, okay, when did she express that? You can tell that he's not believing this.
And like, okay, I think Stefan might take you to school or he might pick you up. She goes, can he pick me up far away? Can he leave me here? Like, I don't want to be seen. I'm just like...
What car does he drive? I'm curious.
It's that Buick.
Oh, okay.
But to her, that's an old...
It's a Lincoln. It's a Lincoln. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. It's not like it's like overly like customized or anything like that. It's just a older Lincoln.
Car.
Fancy taste. I get it. Can you remember anything about Sunday or Saturday or this weekend where she may have said that she was wanting to hang out with friends or something she was wanting to do or anything?
On Sunday, she actually had a party and she had some friends come over. Mm-hmm. So she hasn't expressed that she wanted. She actually got to spend time with friends and family. She had a great Sunday. Okay. She came back with a lot of presents. She was super happy.
Okay. So, no arguments at home recently or anything?
No, nothing like that.
Has she ever, in the totality of, I guess, everything, as long as she's been, ever gone off to spend time by herself, or gone to hang out at a park by herself, or something to kind of clear her own head?
So there's a lake right behind this building.
Mm-hmm.
She'll sometimes sit at the dock or by the lake, but I check on her often.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out, I mean, if she... I don't know if something at school upset her, something here upset her.
I'm sorry to keep interrupting here, guys, but that whole line, she sits at the dock at the lake, to me, that is a redirection attempt, trying to redirect the police to, hey, take a look at the lake. Maybe she's in the lake.
That it would be anyone's fault, but if there's somewhere that she may go for, like, you know, peace of mind.
Yeah, it would be the lake right behind the house.
Does she do any extracurriculars?
No.
Got it. Now, your roommates, I know you told me their names earlier, but can you give them to me again? I didn't write them down.
Sure. Angelica. And then Negro, Nigro.
Uh-huh.
And then
Mm-hmm.
Nathalie, which is Nathalie.
Mm-hmm.
Rosero.
R-O-S.
I would have
Do you have the phone
redacted
numbers
these
by
out.
chance?
I didn't realize,
If they're
guys.
not
Sorry
here.
about that.
Are you okay? Do you have to use the bathroom?
No, I'm just anxious.
Oh, okay.
I've got anxiety. Let me see. Where is... Okay, Angelica, she primarily speaks Spanish, so you probably need a Spanish speaker.
Got it. And then Nathalie. Got it. Alright. When's the last time you got in any kind of trouble at home?
I'm gonna say a few weeks ago.
What was that for?
I don't think... if she gets a yelling, or if she gets in trouble for anything, it's for her disorganization and messiness. How she leaves laundry on the floor,
Okay.
her room's a mess, she keeps her space very disorganized. So I kind of get on top of her. Do I remember the actual argument? No. When I went through her text messages back on February 2nd or 3rd, she had expressed to a friend that, you know, I was crazy. I was acting, you know, being nuts.
Almost old stuff to say.
Yeah, apparently I don't remember this in this conversation. I remember saying this once, but not in February. But she had said, you know, if she continues to behave this way or not listen, you know, when she turns 18, I'm not going to want to live with her.
Okay.
Or also I would ship her off to her dad's.
Oh.
But I never...
Where does your dad live?
Houston, Texas.
Okay. Has she ever expressed wanting to go back and live with them?
No.
How often does she see him or talk to him at all?
Talks to him once in a while.
Via phone or probably?
Yeah, via phone, yeah.
Okay.
Text message or Instagram, they'll message each other. But I talked to him last night, and she's like, just so you're aware, she hasn't said anything about making plans to come over here or see me or come visit me, so he doesn't have any information on where she might be.
Okay.
He's actually willing to come over here, too, if we need him to.
Okay. But she's never made any plans, I guess, to go see him.
No.
What's her dad's name?
They redacted his name, but not the roommate's. That's funny.
So I think it's this one. It's
And he lives in Texas.
in Houston, yeah.
How long has he lived? Or how long?
He was in the military way. Either it's Kansas or...
Oh, so he's never had any, like, custody or anything with her?
Nothing.
Okay. And has she ever...
Hey, Texas Patty, just real quick. I've been watching what you're saying in there about the images and so forth that Gazella had them. You never have to worry about it. Like, I respect all these other YouTubers, especially Gazella K. I love her to death. You're more than welcome to share that stuff in the comments. But thank you for being sensitive to that sort of thing if it mattered to me.
Has she ever formed a relationship with him where they bonded and talked or anything that, like, she... I guess I would try to rule out the possibility that she would be trying to go to Texas and see him or meet up with him, or...
They're as close as they can be with how limited contact he does have with her. He texts her once in a blue, right? Not as consistent as I would like him to, but
Okay.
I don't think she's making her move to go.
Yeah.
She's left her debit card here. All of her money's here. her cell phone's here.
Is it typical of her to leave her cell phone? Does she normally have it?
She's got ADHD. She's very forgetful. This happens often.
Oh, so she frequently forgets her things?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do not buy that. I do not buy that whole argument at all. She has ADHD. She forgets her cell phone all the time. No way. No way. A 12, 13-year-old girl always forgets her cell phone. I do not care what disorder she is being diagnosed with. That just does not happen. The only people that forget their cell phones places are people who lived in a time when cell phones weren't attached to us. People like my parents and stuff like that. I do not buy that one bit at all. To me, again, this is she is endeavoring to cover up a crime. That's what I think is happening here. This is just my opinion. She's not been charged with anything, but that's what it feels like to me, that she's endeavoring to cover up what has actually happened to her daughter.
As far as her mental diagnosis, she's diagnosed with ADHD. How long has she had ADHD?
Since she was like 5, 6. They also diagnosed her at the same time with autism. So she's had an autism diagnosis for a few years now. I've reassessed her recently. They told me she had some autistic traits, but they weren't sure if she was autistic.
So I mean, do you ever notice her mental capacity impacting her ability to, I guess, be around other kids or function normally?
I would say sometimes, because she acts... I'm not sure. Sometimes she'll make some decisions that I'm just like, where did that come from? Like,
I mean, is that like, would that be a result of a mental disability, or would that be like a result of her being... I mean, does she... I guess, like, basic questions I always kind of ask her. Can she feed herself without assistance? Does she shower and bathe without assistance? I mean, she has a phone, so she can text and talk to people. She has friends at school. Gotcha. And has she ever complained about school?
Not complained exactly. I know it's tough on her. She's given a lot of work. She's always behind on work.
Okay. Got it. And I think the deputies already last night kind of went through her social media a little bit, but if you're okay with it, I'd actually like to take her phone so that I can see if I can get anything else from it. Typically me being able to go through it and go through text and social media will help me sort of establish a pattern of where people go and whatnot. If that's something you'd let me do.
Sure. Will you take her phone away forever, or just for right now?
Just for as long as I need it to actually go through it. So
okay.
I'll give it back to you as soon as I'm done. As soon as we find her, I'll give it back to her, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, that's just about all the questions I have at the moment. You know her better than I do. I guess my last thing would be like, what do you think based off of everything that we've talked about and everything that you've learned so far? Is anything sticking out to you?
No, based off of everything, me knowing her and knowing how she is, and how tight-knit we are, like, I don't think she would run away. Mm-hmm. I feel like she was taken. Like,
tight-knit. She feels like she wouldn't run away. She was taken. And she just said that so matter-of-factly. I feel like my daughter wouldn't have run away. I feel like she was taken. Oh my goodness. Ah.
on that short walk from where she was dropped off to the school. It was early in the morning. I'm not sure how many cars were around. I think she was dropped off somewhere between 8:30 and 8:45 in the morning, which is earlier than we normally take her. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I want to say, from what I understood, Orange County got footage of someone by the church in a description of what she was wearing early that morning, just hanging out in the parking lot, and then she got up and left.
Yeah, so the video, they wrote it here, but there was a video of essentially what looks like her at around 8:45, just about that time, walking into that church parking lot that's right near where she got dropped off by Stefan. And it looks like she sits there for about 15 minutes or so and then walks away. So
I'm wondering if it's typical for her to wait at that parking lot too for my stepdad to pick her up from school, so it's not abnormal for her to hang out there.
In that parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you think of any reason why she might have chosen yesterday morning to wait there? I mean, obviously, your stepdad's not picking her up in the morning, but
I wonder if she knew, like, if she had an idea she was super early, so she was just trying to kill time a little bit. But I don't know why she didn't go directly to
Hang
the
on a
school.
second.
yeah.
Hang on. This whole talk about the church, and I think that the next clip that I have is the actual conversation that the police officer had with her about that video at the church. This was never Madeline. This was never Madeline sitting on that bench anywhere near that church. Madeline was deceased and being driven to where she was ultimately found. I am of the opinion that, and I mean, obviously I can be wrong. The police haven't charged her with anything. But I am of the opinion that she knew what had happened at that point. I just don't know how you don't. I just don't know how you don't think that within just hours of Madeline missing. Crying out loud, your boyfriend, I'm not going to get into it, but I just don't buy it is what I'm saying.
She should have.
Okay.
I know when Stefan dropped her off, he said that he saw her rummaging through her phone as he drove away, like deeply looking into her backpack. Her backpack.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she was looking for her phone and realized she didn't have it with her at that time.
Got it.
But
okay. Does she have any kind of boyfriend or significant other at school that she's ever talked about or expressed?
No boyfriend. She did recently tell Stefan that she had a crush on a boy.
Oh, okay.
And we saw messages between them, and nothing seemed weird. But you can look through that as well. His name is...
I assume another middle school boy?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
I'm assuming another.
Well, that is all the
middle
questions
school
I
boy.
have for you right now. I'm going to go ahead and
He already knows at this point what Stefan has been doing to her.
this, and I'll just get one more quick thing from you. 11:44 hours.
Okay, let me head over to the other interview. This one's about 8 minutes long, and I think they're out of order chronologically, but I think it's important to listen to them. We're going to listen to all these things, by the way, not tonight, but over the next few days, we're going to be going through a lot of Madeline Soto stuff.
Are you guys talking to Stefan out here?
Yeah, they're right out there. They just wanted to ask him a couple things, but I figured I'd just ask you this at the same time for the sake of time. Do you recognize this vehicle at all? I wanted to see if I could... So I know it's pretty grainy. It's this one right here. That one's tough, but... Does that look familiar at all?
No,
You wouldn't know that anywhere?
I don't know that part.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is it's hard to show you on my phone because the quality of the video just kind of gets worse when I've downloaded it from the church's computer, and the quality just gets kind of worse. Can you make out, like, the shape of that being black shorts and that being possibly a green jacket?
I see the green.
Would that, I mean, I know it's very difficult to recognize, but would that be something, some clothes that she...
We might all be lost here. He is showing her the video from the church, right? We saw this on the body cam when he went to the church and was going through their video cameras. So he's trying to determine with Jen, can you tell me, is this your daughter? That's what's happening here.
Or
Yes.
would the quality be too bad for you to be able to tell based on that?
I mean, the quality's terrible.
Yeah.
The color scheme.
Would that be akin to something that she owns?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And the hair looks a little dark in the from here.
Dirty blonde. It could pass for dirty blonde.
That could possibly be her. Okay. Is that... I can't tell just from looking at it, but is that Stefan's car? It looks a little darker from there, but I almost can't tell like if it's a Toyota or looks a little different.
From the front, looks different. That looks like a Toyota from the front.
From the front, it looks different, right?
And then from the side, it could be.
It's got a little...
Cadillac.
I mean, yeah, the grill is kind of the same. A little bit. The headlights look a bit the same. Okay, cool. No, I just wanted to see if you kind of were able to help me with that.
Like, this, to me, is a strategy that the police officers are using, because I think at this point, they've already seen, they haven't found Maddie yet, but they've already seen all the footage of where Stefan has been driving. That's what I think. I'm not sure about this chronology, but it feels to me like they already know that Stefan has been going all over the place. They are fishing to see, does Jen know what Stefan was up to? And I think that's what's happening here.
So this whole living in the woods thing, I have people like tromping through the woods right now on horses and ATVs and all sort of things, but has she ever mentioned that before?
Just in that text that I saw.
Just that's the only time you've ever heard of it? Is she outdoorsy at all? Does she like camping?
We used to go hiking.
Okay.
But we haven't done that in a while.
Okay. Where did you go? Was it around here?
Where would we go? We'd go hiking in like St. Cloud. Lake Lizzie Preserve is what it's called.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not too far.
It's about 35 minutes away.
Yeah, okay.
On 182. Lake Lizzie Preserve. We've also walked Shingle Creek before, but we haven't done that in a very long while.
Got it.
But no, I know, the thing is, I started talking to her about World War III. I was talking about, like, hey, this is going on in Palestine and Israel right now.
Oh, so you're talking to her about the wars.
I was telling her, I was talking to her about just what's happening politically, and I'm like, you know, I don't know what that means for us, but we'll see what happens. But I've talked to her about World War III, so that's what I'm just saying.
How long ago was that? I mean, is that something that might have impacted her?
Yeah, I feel like that's why when I read that conversation, I'm like, oh, that's directly related to me talking to her about what's happening in Israel, Palestine, and the potential World War III that might happen from that.
Okay.
And that's why she said she wanted to go live in the woods.
Okay. Got it. All right. No, just wanted to...
It's not that she wanted to go live in the woods to get away from her mother's boyfriend. It's that she was concerned about what was happening in the Middle East. Okay.
To figure out where that might have come from. Maybe help me see if she just wanted to be in the outdoors.
Definitely. The World War III conversation, that's definitely me.
Okay.
That was me.
It's fine. I mean, it's fine. So one thing that I think I may have misheard you say earlier, but I want to make sure that I have it absolutely clear, is on Sunday night, y'all went to bed around 11, and the reason that you sent her upstairs with Stefan was because you had work in the morning, was it? Or you just started a new job?
I just started a new job, and I haven't been sleeping well.
Oh.
I take psychiatric meds every night for my bipolar disorder, and if I don't take them the right way, eat, and go to sleep on time,
they don't work. Gotcha.
So I was just like, hey, I really need these meds, because I forgot them the night before. I forgot them, I think, Saturday night. So Sunday I was not myself. So I asked, I'm like, hey, I need to be medicated. I need to sleep. Can you take care of the morning duties so I can go?
Hey, Lily, somebody may have answered you already on this, but I don't think that we will know what the autopsy says not until it goes to trial, if it does.
And sleep.
Gotcha. All right. No, I just wanted to make sure I understood you right, because I was like, did you have work in the morning? Or I didn't write that down, and I wanted to make sure I heard you okay. Are there any cameras in the neighborhood that you know? Does anyone have any ring cameras? Do you have any security cameras out front?
I'm going to say there are cameras in the front. There are cameras in the back gate as well.
Okay.
I know one neighbor around here has a Ring camera, but I didn't want anything like that.
Okay.
Hey, Jay, how are you?
And if you don't mind, just try to keep people out of because I have a canine that's coming. If you don't mind, they're going to try to run another track from the church and from here.
Okay.
To see if we can maybe just try it again. You know, last night it didn't work out because the dog lost interest and they weren't able to continue. But I figured, you know, it's worth another try. The dogs are pretty good, so just try to keep them out of her room. We're probably going to use like a... Does she have dirty laundry or like a hamper?
Her most recent dirty laundry is on my bathroom floor, and we've walked around it. We haven't touched it.
Okay, just keep people off of it.
Yeah.
Just let and just and as much as you can, try to avoid crowding the front door for the dog.
Yeah.
So that they know where to go from. Okay.
Just let me know when they're coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna get. They're gonna call me when they're on the way. But just as much as you can, try to keep the scent pretty fresh. There you go. Cool. All right. And another thing I just wanted to confirm, because I know the last night was a long night.
You're right on, Patty.
You said when you woke up around 9, you left your house at 9:30 for your doctor's appointment. Mm-hmm. And Stefan hadn't come home yet. Mm-mm. And then he called you at 10. You were
like 10:15, yeah.
10:15ish to have the conversation. McDonald's and
yeah, she didn't want McDonald's, so he came home.
McDonald's, so dumb.
I think he had accidentally left his phone at home.
Yeah.
So he was just letting me know because I had called.
Hey, Jessica, that is a great comment. She just said she asked Stefan in the night to take care of the morning duties. So going to the timeline, is it possible that she didn't know? If she zonked out on her meds, Stefan did what Stefan does to little Miss Maddie. Is it possible that he took care of everything without Jen knowing? Man, I just find it so hard to believe. Maybe it's my own bias that I need to overcome. And with all of the kind of redirection and stuff like that, or I mean, it's possible that it's just kind of like a battered spouse syndrome or something like that, or Stockholm syndrome, or I'm a lay person here. I have no expertise in this, but it just feels so strange that she wouldn't know. Just, yeah, but you're right. She said she took her evening meds, went to bed, said, "Hey, Stefan, can you take care of things in the morning? I've got a doctor's appointment at 9:30. I guess it's possible.
Multiple times. So he was just returning my call going, "I'm so sorry, I left the phone at home. I went to the vape store. I waited there for a little bit. Nothing, nobody was there. He came back home for a little bit and then went back out to the vape store."
And then what time did you get home again? Was it around 11?
Let me see. I'm going to say around 11:15.
Because I think if I heard you right the first time, you got home at 11 and you and Stefan were both here, and then he left to go to the vape store again?
I did see him, yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I had that because, like I said, sometimes you forget to write things down, and I don't want to misremember. But okay, that's all I have for you right now. We're still looking. I mean, that's unfortunately the best update I can give you. Is we're all out and we're everywhere, asking people and looking. And I know your family's also doing the same. So, if you get anything new like that thing you sent me just a little bit ago that I can look into, just keep on sending them to me. Okay?
Yeah. Were any of those helpful about the vehicles?
There's something for me to look into, to look for license plate readers and stuff. As of right now, I haven't been able to find anything else or confirm it, but I mean, it's still helpful for me to, in case something else comes across in the future. So, if you receive anything else, let me know. But I mean, do know that obviously, just like that kid pranked you earlier, because it's so public, you're going to have kids doing that. So, don't be too scared by it if someone does that again. Okay? All right. Thank you. I'll let you know when they get here.
Yeah, she absolutely knew. She said that she saw what Madeline was wearing in the morning. So yeah, I mean, you guys have such good comments. Like, and I hate to be like Mr. Waffler here, right? I've never felt during this whole time that Jen didn't know what happened. It's just my opinion from, reading the reports and so forth. And we're going to get into a couple of others. There are more files that we need to listen to. We're not going to be able to do it tonight because I need to get back to work. I wish that I could stay with you guys for hours, but I can't. But thank you all for the comments tonight. You guys have done really well. You brought up some really terrific points. I think most of what we have heard here, we have already read the reports on. The one that we're going to be listening to tomorrow is a much longer clip. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do. It's a much longer clip. It describes a couple more things that I've seen like Gazella talk about and Plunder talk about and so forth. We're going to get to that. And I think we're going to get to that tomorrow. So please like and subscribe, do all the things. Remember that you can always reach me on my website, gavinfish.com. Just head on over to the contact button and you can remain anonymous. That reminds me. I did this in the video last night. I want to do it again just in case this person is watching. Some time ago, I was given an anonymous tip that came through this website, this form right here, that led to a major breakthrough in one of the cases that I care about deeply. It was completely anonymous. I have not even tried to seek out that person, but what I hope that person will do is reach out to me and tell me who you are and how I can get in touch with you. And the reason I want you to do that, you know who you are just based on the description of what happened. Okay, it was big. It was case changing. Okay. I will keep you anonymous, but there are questions that I have for you that I would love to ask you. So if you are that person who gave me that tip, and I'm positive that I will recognize you once you send me another comment, just based on how you have written to me before, okay? But if you are that person, please reach out and give me a way to contact you. I will keep you completely anonymous. I've never given up a source. I never will. Please, please, please reach out to me through this form. Hey guys, remember that I send out an almost daily newsletter that shares basically the work that I'm doing, the cases that I'm following, the news headlines, the videos that are out there, along with some commentary from me. So if that is your kind of thing, I invite you to check out Crime God, which is a free newsletter. And you can just do that here on my website. Also, please head on over to the Fish Tank and join us over there in our conversations about everything true crime. We talk about it all, and it is a blast. I love hanging out with you guys over there. And then the last thing, I want to plug my mods, Autumn and Jamie, who work so hard for us. You can support Autumn and Jamie because they do this completely voluntarily. You can click this button and you can buy my mods a coffee, and I invite you to do that. And one last thing before we go, because I just saw it come in. Oh, hang on. Let's do this real quick. Add to the broadcast. Built to Help says, I keep missing or coming in right before the end. Great everything recently. Thank you very much, Built to Help. I deeply appreciate it. Then I put some favorites. Oh, this question was a good question, and so I favorited it. Left it till the end. Why would they need her to testify with all the evidence? Serious question. This is a great question. This is a terrific question. And let me just tell you from my experience as a reporter, not a lawyer, I only admire good lawyering. I'm not a practicing at good lawyering, right? But as a reporter, I spend a lot of time in courts. I spend a lot of time watching hearings and trials and voir dires and the whole thing, right? Prosecutors like to pile on. They love to pile on. So if indeed they are not charging Jen Soto because they have traded her testimony so that they can get Stephen Stearns, and I don't really buy that, but if indeed that is what has happened, it's just so that they can pile on at trial. That's what I think. All right. That's a great question. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. I will bid you adieu. I will see you on the next one, which will be tomorrow, continuing with Maddie's case, Maddie Soto, and I will see you then. Take care. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.